I will get it in there. I don't know that I can get it in there this week because I
Oh,
gotta
you're
make like
good.
a 22-second clip of it to
Yeah,
do that, but I can switch it out.
I don't think we have the copyrights.
yeah. I'll sue your ass.
That's hilarious. I saw the look on Ryan's face when you were saying Elliot's podcast was using a song, you know? It's like,
Oh
what?
shit.
Royalties, dude.
If we get any royalties, I'll send you a percentage for sure.
Oh, you.
Let me get my cut first.
I want to message Danny right now. Like, I think you need to invest in RDR.
Yeah. Let them sports bets hit so we can get that
Yeah.
windfall.
Well, he's all over the stocks now.
Oh, nice.
Finding new ways to make money. They stopped gambling, so he started gambling.
I took a lease out on your heart. I took a lease out on your heart. Can I at least have fun? Can I at least have fun? Can I at least have fun?
Welcome back, everybody. We are Retro Features. You are the audience, and together we are back for the round of 32. For the last part of the round of 32. And here for Dynasty Domination. I haven't messed that up in a while. How are you doing over there, boys?
We're just getting dynasty dominated, dude.
I've been doing it year 16 of just being
Just
dominated.
getting dynasty wheelbarrowed over here, pretty much. So that's how it
Oh,
is. Too soon. We can cut, start over. How are you? How's everyone else?
uh, all good over here. Finally
Right?
won one. Woo! Got one.
Yeah.
Got a ship down finally.
Yeah. I got a
I
few,
did.
you know.
I did. I haven't won one, so that's why I'm here in a bar.
There you go. Cheers to you, my friend.
Hey,
May
cheers.
this be that year you lose by 3 points in the semis.
Oh,
Again.
that's tough. Oh God,
Son of a
I don't
bitch.
even want to talk about for the belt this year. That was such a weak showing. Anywho, round of 32 for the Midwest. We are here, the last part of the round of 32. And yeah, I mean, let's just dive right in here. We've got our number one seed, Jeremiah Love, running back out of Notre Dame, going up against the number 8 seed, Max Clare, tight end out of Ohio State. This one not close.
Yeah,
But me
Max
and
Clare.
yeah, for sure. Me
Yeah,
and
Max.
Daniel have talked about Max Clare a bit. We do like him quite a bit. So I want to hear what AJ thinks about Mr. Clare.
As far as I can tell, he looks like a giant munchkin in his.
Jeez.
It's a Wizard of Oz joke.
No, we get it.
No. I don't know. I feel like he's a pretty solid prospect overall for a tight
Mhm.
end. I don't think he's going to dazzle anybody in fantasy per se. I think he doesn't have the best hands in the world, but he can run routes. I think he blocks really well. I think he just does his job really well, and I think that's going to get him into the NFL. And I think he's going to have a nice career in the NFL. But I think he's going to be more like those. I'm a Vikings fan. He's going to be like those Jimmy Klein saucer guys, where it's just
Mm.
like you guys know who he is, but the rest of the NFL doesn't really know who he is.
All right.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah. Hey, I didn't mean to. You can go. You can go if you want.
No, you're good. Go for it.
But yeah, so I think this guy is definitely benefiting off of a weaker tight end class because he's probably going to get a shot. But with tight end, you want to see a mismatch. You want to see, size to win, physically or speed to beat, linebackers in coverage. And he doesn't necessarily offer either of those things. But he definitely was a physical blocker. I felt like he got his hands on a defender nearly every play. And often it was like hit a guy and then have like a late route off of a block, which was pretty swell. But honestly, it wasn't the worst resume. 3 years, 1,300 yards and six scores. It's not enough to really lure me in, like fantasy wise.
Mhm.
But I do think that he's going to have probably, we're looking at a day two NFL drafted guy, so he could
Yeah.
surprise.
Yeah, I liked him quite a bit. I think when we did our mock draft, I took him over even Stowers, but I've eased back way off of that. I don't think he's in that league anymore. But I do like him. I think he's got some fun attributes. I think he's great at avoiding contact, or even like when he doesn't have the ball, just like not getting tied up in traffic through the middle of the field. And I think he has great like body control, his like ability to slip around traffic and kind of move through and weave through stuff. Even and when he does get the ball, it kind of carries over. I will say a lot of his stuff did seem like it came off like pick plays where he was like just taking advantage of the fact that he was open. So I wouldn't say that he's like the master of getting open. I do think he finds holes in the zone pretty well. And I am sad that he didn't run at the combine. I would have liked
Yeah.
to see kind of like where he landed speed wise because I think he does have a decent amount of speed, not game breaking speed, kind of like what you're saying, but I think I think a team will like him a lot, and if it's like a high level passing offense, I'd be pretty excited. But I guess I think you guys are right for the most part. Like he'll be kind of like good to fine, more than great, if that makes sense.
I just think he's a great run blocker, man. He can pull real quick, and he gets up in the hole. He can be a good lead blocker. But I just yeah.
He had some good H-back work. It just seemed like he wasn't fast enough to make it in the NFL.
Fair. All right. Well, Jeremiah Love moving on and Max Clare staying here. So next up, we got a pretty interesting matchup. We've got the number 5 seed wide receiver Omar Cooper Jr. out of Indiana. Going up against the 4 seed Chris Bell, wide receiver out of Louisville. To me, this is like the battle of polar opposite players.
For sure.
One is like an athletic freak who is inconsistent but could blow the doors off at the NFL level. The other guy's like a tactician who seems to me like destined for NFL success, but maybe doesn't have quite the ceiling of the other guy. I kind of want to see how you guys landed on this one because of that. This is a very opposing dynamic matchup.
Go ahead, Daniel.
For me, I got to give it to Omar Cooper Jr. He's kind of like, I don't know, something about him, like keep his head down, just get the job done. Like he's
Hmm.
always grinding. And I had mad respect for just like the heart he has and the execution. Meanwhile, Chris Bell, who is very good at football, just looks like God, he's kind of sad out there. He got robbed, like viciously robbed by his quarterback play,
Hmm.
having to like pause and come back for catches constantly, not getting anything in stride, just getting a lot of like fast shots at the line of scrimmage. And it's like, what is his potential? Because
Hmm.
he has so much more than we've seen displayed. So you're right. The ceiling for him, I assume I'm guessing right on who was who with your mysterious
Yeah.
introduction. But you know, for him to overcome all of these like horrible, play calling and bad quarterback play to get 100 targets and 900 yards. I don't know. The guy is about 25, which is a red flag, but other than that, to be 6'2", 222, like he played really great in a
Hmm.
horrible system, and damn, he could really blow the lid off of something. But Omar Cooper, you can't dog this guy at all,
Yeah.
after what he's done. So I got to give it to Cooper.
Yeah, that's where I landed as well. Like, in terms of obviously, I do think Bell potentially has like a higher ceiling, but in terms of floor, like Bell is a guy that could bottom out, and not really do much at the next level, in my opinion. Whereas Cooper,
Yeah.
to me, out of the guys we've watched, literally seems just like signed, sealed, delivered. Like he's going to be an NFL starter. Is he going to be like a super duper star at the NFL level? Potentially, but who knows? But in terms of who I think is going to have a long career and be successful at the next level, I think Cooper's like the most obvious one.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I'm in the same boat as you guys. Chris Bell just looked. I don't know. You just felt bad for the guy watching
Mm.
him play
Big
his film.
time.
He just looked frustrated, but his athleticism is insane. Like just
Yeah.
watching him go up for those inaccurate balls and like somehow get a paw on it is just
Hmm.
kind of crazy to watch. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in lockstep with you guys here.
Yeah, he fights really hard. I remember the game against Pitt. He had a just an awful pass thrown in front of him. It shouldn't have been thrown, and he like played defender and batted it in the air and then caught it, kind of thing. Like he's scrappy. He's a fighter, man. And yeah, he's has some serious juice. Does Chris Bell? I guess I just worry. Like to me, he kind of falls in this like AJ Brown, DK Metcalf type, like, oh, that's like the high end potential. Maybe not exactly the best comp, but in terms of like bigger, thicker, like super fast guys that can blow you away with athleticism. But then, like, is he going to be one of those guys, or is he going to be Traylon Burks or Xavier Legette? You know what I
Right.
Yeah.
mean? Like, there's
That's
just
yeah.
such a variation there that is scary to me.
Oh, I just looked it
Espe
up. Player comparison. I see Jonathan Mingo, so you can count on Daniel drafting him.
There
Oh,
you go.
gross. I gave him some bad looks there. He's actually only 22, so
Oh, okay.
give him a little bit
Sorry, I
low.
should have caught you on that.
That's my bad, but yeah, player profiler has him as Xavier Legette,
Oh,
so
yep, that makes sense.
bring it on.
And I do feel just have to throw out, I do feel bad. Would have loved to see him at the combine, but obviously he tore his ACL
Hmm.
later on in the year, so that's going to be a red flag for some teams as well, which I think will drive his stock a little bit down. But I would not, I'd be shocked if he still wasn't a second round pick. Somebody's going to fall in love with that potential, I think.
Yeah, not the best bell of the ball here.
So Omar Cooper Jr. moving on to the Sweet 16, and Chris Bell is going to stay put. All right, so we got the sixth seed Jadarian Price, running back out of Notre Dame, going up against the number three seed Fernando Mendoza, quarterback out of Indiana, Heisman Trophy winner.
Yay.
Definitely had one of the highest highs seasons you could ever have, does Mendoza. Heisman Trophy, the Natty, first ever Natty for IU, perfect season. It's hard to beat that, but I don't think he makes it to the Sweet 16 in our tournament unless you guys shock me.
No shock here, my friend. The
Fair
dude led
enough.
all of college ball with 41 touchdowns. He's going to need to do it in the pros before I get too excited about him.
Yeah.
I do feel like he is getting a little bit of shade just because there's zero competition as day one starters in this class outside of
Hmm.
him. But yeah, I think, dude, it's going to be a big transition from the system he was in to playing for the Raiders. Like, you don't get a bump going to the Raiders. It also, for this tournament, this is the only guy whose landing spot we know, you know?
Yeah.
So it kind of shines in a different light. But I don't know, man. He was definitely had some endurance mentally
Yeah.
and physically, and he had like the Superman cape on to a sense. He doesn't have necessarily the stereotypical NFL quarterback style that is hot these days, but
Mm.
good decision maker, good delivery guy. Not the sexiest thing in the world for sure, but
No.
he's got some potential, man. But Price got it going on too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, this guy just doesn't give a gosh darn. That's what I'm. That's what I say. Uh,
Shucks.
no, I mean, yeah, that's. I mean, when you see all the comps where it's like Jared Goff, you're like,
Hmm.
okay, I hate that, but also that's the number one pick. I mean, Jared Goff was the number one pick. Am I right?
Hmm.
So
Right.
I don't know. I do like the competitive spirit. I like how he's very emotional. You know, he cares a lot.
Passionate.
He's passionate. Thank you. Sorry, that's what I tell my girlfriend. She's very passionate sometimes. No, but you know, I like the competitive spirit. I like how he puts. It's a weird thing because it's like you watch him and he's willing to run the ball. He's willing to put his body on the line, but then it's just like, is that can that translate to the NFL, or are you
Hmm.
just asking to hurt yourself? You know, like
Yeah.
what was the main thing we talked about with Jalen Daniels? Like, hey man, you're a fucking dog, dude. You get after it, but you put your body on the line. And how many games did he play last year? So
Hmm.
he's a little bit bigger though. The 6'5", the big frame, like
That does help.
it does
Yeah.
help quite a
I
bit.
have to
But
look at his elbows.
Jeez.
I mean,
Um,
Jalen Daniels doesn't have shoulders, right?
That's the
yeah,
yeah.
that's
There's
the
a lot
issue.
of
Yeah.
weird things going on structurally.
No,
Goodness.
echoing just kind of everything you guys have said. Mendoza really does have some strength. He has really good ball placement. The accuracy is there. I do think he's really good at like the RPO processing. He didn't have the chance to really show off like much down the field processing. That offense just was structured to get people open, be based around the run game, and kind of take over games that way. And then he just did what he needed to do, which is good, like he did it to a very successful level. But like you guys are saying, like, does that translate to the next level? It's a little worrisome, especially when you talk about going to the Raiders. You look at Mendoza has massive success this year. He's got clean pockets, open receivers constantly, two great wide receivers, one we just talked about, one we're about to talk about, and then a
Yeah.
strong rushing attack. Do the Raiders have any of that? Like
They
they
got
have
Ashton Genty and
they
Brock
have
Bowers,
Ashton
dude.
Genty, yep, and
And
Brock
Kyle
Bowers
Linderbaum, dude.
and
Like,
Jalen Naylor
Jalen
and
Naylor, dude.
and
Get them
Jack
all
hey,
Best.
You're talking about Speedy? Yeah, I mean that's what I call him. That's what me and JJ McCarthy
Speedy.
call him. So
Fair enough. Oh yeah, because
So
we
fast he gets underthrown.
the 28th ranked offensive line last year, they did add Tyler Linderbaum, so hopefully that helps them out. And I think they get some injury people back. But still, like, it's just not, I could see him having like a fine to meh year this year. And then, yeah, you want to talk about the Jared Goff comps. I agree with those comps. That would be who I said. Also, let's cool it with these like silly Joe Burrow comparisons. Like, that's
What?
strictly based off like team success. I just like when they won the Natty, people were comparing Mendoza to Burrow and the 2019 LSU team, and it's
the
like,
best college football team of all time. What are we
yeah, it's
talking
like, can
about?
we calm down with that? That's not even close. Like, so Jared Goff is a more appropriate comp, and if Goff is in the best possible situations, he's put off a 10th season, a 6th season, a 7th fantasy quarterback season, and two ninth. That's all pretty good. But when he's in bad situations, he's put up a 24th and a 20th and a 13th and a 12th. Like, he's not the guy that makes the team amazing. He's the guy that can function on an amazing team and make it a little bit better, if that makes sense. And I feel like that is kind of where Mendoza is. So if he ends up on the Raiders and the Raiders don't drastically improve, then he'll just kind of be like a middling fantasy quarterback, which in this matchup specifically against Price, I have no interest in. If it was a super flex, maybe he'd win easier just because of the positional value and there being no other quarterbacks. But like, I'd rather take a shot on one of the stronger backs in this class that's fairly top heavy as opposed to Fernando Mendoza. Like maybe if he's kicking around in the second round of a one QB league, I'll go after it. But somebody will probably bite on him before that.
Item.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I was
All
just
right.
sitting here just looking at Raiders receivers, and it was just like,
Yeah, it's
God.
rough.
Don't do that, dude. It's like staring at
Yeah.
the sun.
Brock Bowers is going to have 282 catches next
I'm
year.
down. I'm super down for that. I love me some Brock Bowers. But all right, Jadarian Price moving on to the Sweet 16. And Fernando Mendoza, your amazing season ends today. I'm sorry. I'm sure you'll get over it hugging all your trophies. Um, our last
He's already
matchup of the
forgiven
round.
Enjoy your gambling addiction in the future. Las Vegas.
Our last matchup of the round of 32 for the Midwest is seven-seeded Elijah Surratt out of Indiana, and going up against the two-seed Carnell Tate, wide receiver out of Ohio State. So obviously Surratt is going to stop here, but I know you really like Surratt, Daniel, so I'll let you kind of take the lead on this one.
Yeah, cue the music, all right? Roses by the dozen. We lost a good one tonight, guys. I tell you what. No, Elijah Surratt, man. I love this guy. I love him. Led all college ball and receiving touchdowns with 15. Caught nearly, 75% of his targets. He was out of this world. On this team, which we've just talked about three really dynamic playmakers. Two of them, the two previously mentioned with Omar and Mendoza, probably first round talents. And
Mhm.
then you got Surratt. He's kind of the odd man out as far as like claiming the hype of the success here. But in my heart, he's still outstanding. He just seemed like the kind of guy that was just playing to help you out, man. He's just like, let me help you out. Let me come through in a big moment. And especially in the red zone, he just had a creative combination of like route running and timing to get clean. And it came through in a big way. I don't think he's necessarily the fastest guy, and we didn't get any combine workouts out of him. So we're not, we have no where to go from that besides the tape. But he did lack some speed and separation. One thing that really broke my heart was to see a 6'3" guy only have 12 of 30 contested catches brought in. That hurts my heart, but to seriously have 31 touchdowns over the past 3 years, he is just consistently winning, putting up big time stats. 2 years with IU, breezed nearly over 1,750 yards in those 2 seasons. And then in James Madison had almost 1,200 yards prior to that. So he's a big production guy, and the red zone is his best friend. You know, 8 of his touchdowns last year came inside of the 10 yards. So he's just getting open in the end zone and making plays happen. And in the fantasy world, even if he's not going to be a number one guy, if he can pull down those 6 point balls, PPRs, that's a 7 point ball all day, then he's going to have a lot of heat coming off of him. So I'm still pumped about him. Obviously, you can't beat a Buckeye in this spot right here, but he gave it his best shot. What do you guys think? You think Cornell Tate loses on this one or what?
Oh, I would never say that, like, especially not to your face.
All
I'm
right,
afraid what would happen.
come on
Um,
now.
no, I think he's great. I mean, he's a Surratt, so Daniel's gonna love him. I don't know what he's got with Surratts. Doesn't matter how it's
Yeah,
spelled, just all about how it
give
sounds.
it to me, dude.
Um, I I don't know, man. I think he's just such a. He's not gonna beat you down the field, but yeah, he's a specialist. He's like a tight end without the body. I
That's
don't know.
true.
That's how, like, a nice safety valve, like you said, like a quarterback's best friend. Like, he's gonna bail you out. It feels like a. I hate to say this because it's just cliche, but like a high football IQ. He just
Mm,
feels like he's got the pedigree. He feels like he's got the confidence. He's got the hands. Like, he'll bail you out in a big spot as long as he's not the number one,
right.
obviously, but a good number two. Good number two.
Really
He'll
good
he'll
number
move the
two.
chains and he'll get you touchdowns. And I mean, what else do you want
Maybe the
as a
Raiders
quarterback?
can mess around and draft this guy.
Honestly, I think that would be the best spot for him. Him and Mendoza had like a really tight connection. It seemed like Mendoza was always looking for Surratt on third and fourth down and in the red zone, like you're saying. And I do think Surratt gets pigeonholed into this like bigger body, slower contested catch guy. And he is good in that area. I know it wasn't great this year, like you commented, the 12 for 30, but in his career, he's 57% contested catches, 54 of 94. So
There you go.
a lot better numbers if you look at the grand scope of things. And I do think he has more to his game than that. Like, I think he's got more wiggle, a little more nuance than he'll get credit for. And I think it is like one of those, like, oh, is it the connection that he had with Mendoza that just kind of helped him out in some of these areas, which is why I would like to see him kind of just end up there with the Raiders. But I like stuff that he does. Like, he makes a lot of big time plays with physicality and like you said, AJ, the high football IQ. I remember a curl route against Iowa where he had to come up and the dude was all over him and he kind of shoved him off and then realized like he was kind of crowded in between three guys, so just took like a couple steps to the left to make that, which was obviously like not the route because he'd already run the route, and then just like made himself open in the middle of these three defenders, and Mendoza hit him in the chest, and then he's really good at like being hard to bring down. It seems like every play like shakes a defender off him and pushes for extra yardage. So I agree with you guys. I think he's a great number two on a really good offense. He could be a really really great number two. I think. So we'll just kind of gotta see where he lands. But yeah, I don't. He's not a match for Carnell Tate at all.
No. That year in St. Francis really just held him back.
Yeah.
It'd be a nice number two right behind Jack Betch.
Jack
Or
Bash
Yeah.
or Trey Tucker
Trey, or Donta Thornton.
Thornton, yeah, dude, that's number
Thornton,
one.
man.
Brock
Yeah.
Although,
Bowers
yeah,
is-
we got to teach
Brock Bowers,
Fernando.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Teach Fernando how to let the play develop long enough for Thornton to get downfield. I think that's
Yeah.
step one.
That's true. All right. So the 7 seed Elijah Surratt, you were staying here, and the 2 seed moving on to the Sweet 16 in Carnell Tate, which means our Midwest and final portion of the Sweet 16 matchups are gonna be Jeremiah Love going up against Omar Cooper Jr., Spicy Spicy, and Jadarian Price going up against Carnell Tate. So our Sweet 16 is officially set. We will be hitting that not necessarily next week. It's going to be the week after because I will be gone. But we will get it to you ASAP as possible. So until then, we've been Rough Draft Research. You've been the audience, and we'll see you next time.
Konnichiwa.